There's a wooden ship, a famous one. It sits in a harbor as a monument, and the people who look after it are very careful with it. Over the years, the planks start to rot. So one day, a caretaker removes a single rotten plank and replaces it with a fresh, identical one. Obviously, it's still the same ship. One new plank doesn't change that. You wouldn't even blink. But hold on to that thought. Because this simple little ship is about to ask a question that philosophers have argued about for 2,000 years, and by the end, it won't really be about the ship. It'll be about you. Years pass, and planks keep rotting. So the caretakers keep doing the obvious, sensible thing. Every time one rots, they replace it with a new one. Fast forward. Now about half the ship is made of new planks. Still, most people would say it's the same ship. It's been continuously repaired. It never stopped being the ship. But something's starting to feel a little strange now, isn't it? You can feel the question forming before it's even asked. Keep going. Eventually, the very last original plank rots and gets replaced. Now every single piece of the ship is new. Not one atom of the original material remains. So here's the first question. Is this still the same ship? Every part has been swapped. Nothing physical is left from the original. But it happens so gradually, one plank at a time, that there was never a moment where it stopped being the ship. Your gut probably says, yes, it's the same ship? Okay, hold that answer. Because we're about to make it so much worse. Because there's a second character in this story. Every time a plank was removed from the ship over all those years, someone was quietly collecting them, picking up each discarded original plank and taking it home to a warehouse. Over the years, this person's collection grew. Every single original plank, every original nail, kept safe and dry and stored away. And once they had every last original piece, they did the obvious thing. They reassembled them, in the exact same order, into a complete ship. So now there are two ships. In one harbor, the ship that was continuously repaired, now made entirely of new planks. In a warehouse, a ship built from every single original plank, in its original arrangement. And now the question has teeth. Which one is the original ship? The one that never stopped being the ship, repaired piece by piece? Or the one made of all the actual original material? And the maddening thing is, both answers feel completely correct. The repaired ship has continuity. It was always there, always the ship. The rebuilt ship has the material. It's literally, physically, the original wood. You cannot pick one without giving up something that clearly matters. Now, here's where this stops being about a ship. Because you are also made of parts. And they are also being replaced. The cells in your body are constantly dying and being replaced. Your skin renews itself roughly every few weeks. The lining of your stomach, every few days. Most of your body is, quite literally, not the same material it was a decade ago. On an atomic level, the vast majority of the atoms that make you up today were somewhere else entirely a year ago. In your food, in the air, in the water you drank. You are a pattern that matter passes through, not a fixed lump of stuff. So you are the repaired ship, continuously maintained, piece by piece, your material swapped out slowly enough that you never noticed and never stopped being you. The child you once were shares almost no physical material with you now. And yet, you'd still say that was you. Which forces the real question. If it's not the material that makes you the same person over time, because that's all been replaced, then what is it? What's the thread that makes the child and the adult the same person? Philosophers have spent centuries trying to answer that, and their best attempts all point at one uncomfortable, fascinating idea about what you actually are. The most convincing answer is that you were never the material in the first place. You are the pattern, the arrangement, the organization of the parts, and the continuity of that organization through time. The planks were never the ship. The ship was the shape the planks were held in. And for a person, the thread that holds the pattern together is probably memory and continuity of experience. You are connected to the child you were by an unbroken chain of moments, each one remembering the last. Not the same atoms, the same ongoing story. But this cuts deep if you follow it. If you are a pattern and not a substance, then in a real sense the you of 10 years ago is gone. The material is scattered across the world. What continues isn't a thing. It's a process that keeps insisting it's the same, moment to moment, all the way down. But here's the warm version of the same truth. You are not a static object slowly wearing out. You're a living pattern, constantly rebuilt, remade fresh over and over by the world flowing through you. You are less like a statue and more like a flame. The same flame all evening, even though not one bit of it stays still. So which ship is the real one? The honest answer philosophers arrive at is, the question is slightly wrong. Same can mean continuity, or it can mean material. And we only ever notice the difference because this strange ship forced the two apart. The Ship of Theseus isn't really a puzzle with an answer. It's a mirror. It takes a word we use every day without thinking, same, and quietly shows us we never actually knew what it meant, including when we say it about ourselves. You are not the plank, or the atom, or the cell. You are the shape they keep pouring themselves into. And somehow, astonishingly, that shape remembers being every version of itself that came before. So next time someone says, "You've completely changed," you can tell them they're more right than they know, and it's completely fine. Hit subscribe. Next time we're pulling apart another idea that unravels the moment you look at it. See you there.